So just to recap of last week, we talked about your work schedule, breaking down the presentation, the importance of asking the key questions and getting people to answer the phones. Now, hopefully you guys have taken all that information that we went over on yesterday and really created your schedule so that you can work around your family, around your children, around this pandemic and everything else that is going on to match your personal goals. We have 5.5 months left for this year. Do not end this year the same way that you came in, all right? You can make a change. It is just a matter of deciding that you are going to be different and doing the work, all right? Of course, we again talked about breaking down that presentation. We went into the different parts of the presentation and the importance of each part of the presentation to make sure that you are not the only one talking at all times, that you are asking those key questions and why those key questions are important to get those individuals to think of why you are there and why they need to say yes today. And then, of course, getting people to answer the phones when they just don't want to. So getting started with today, the key points in the elevator pitch. All right, now this elevator pitch is so important. It is not just us being in an elevator and doing a pitch. This is anywhere, at any point, at any time, being ready to give your 30-second pitch. I did write on there 30 seconds to a minute, but if you do a pitch for 1 minute, you can lose their attention. It should be 30 seconds or less, all right? It is a very short description of an idea, a product or company that explains the concept in a way such that the listener can understand it in a short period of time. 30 seconds, y'all, all right? And I'm gonna give you a couple examples shortly. So it should definitely spark the interest in anyone who is listening. Again, if you are in an elevator, using that as the example, everybody in there is listening to you. So you want to make sure that you are able to pique everybody's interest that's in the room or in the elevator. It should explain how you are, that should say who you are, and it does, I can't read. So it should explain who you are and what you do. And it is an opportunity to close a deal. So as we're always talking about, even in your presentation, you should always be closing from the beginning to the middle to the end. ABC, always be closing. Excuse me. The key points, again, examples. I help companies like yours increase production by up to 30% without additional cost. Now, that is a very short, very clear example of an elevator pitch. This individual is letting whoever around them know that they help companies, such as their company, increase production by up to 30% without additional cost. Now, everybody wants to increase production because that means more money for their company. And you're telling me up to 30%. Now, some might say, well, that doesn't seem like a large number. But if you're telling me you can increase my production by 30% without me having to come out for more money, I think you got my attention, right? You always want to end with handing them your card with a smile, all right? So you don't want to just give your little pitch with nothing to give them, for them to have in their hand ownership. They want to own that card, and then you can move forward with gaining some additional information from that person, all right? Here's another example. I'm a sales rep at Better Than the Rest Cable. We help hotels across the United States pair with the perfect cable provider and plan for their region and needs. Again, they are not saying my whole name, this and that and the third. They are just basically letting them know what they can do for the client, for the customer, for the company. It's not about us. It's about what can we provide for them? What is going to pique their attention? Here is an example that I use. My name is Christine Austinell, and I provide peace of mind with a cash benefit that pays out within 24 hours of claim approval and a family support service that will hold the family's hand to get the best funeral at the best price possible without stress. As I'm handing the card. Yes, that is a mouthful. I have said it a million times. It is easy for me. That does not have to be your elevator pitch at all. right? You want to make sure that it is something that easily rolls off of your own tongue so that you don't start saying, wait, you want it to roll. You want it to just flow, okay? I'm going to come with another question. Who do you know that could benefit with cash in hand within 24 hours of proof of death, right? I want to ask the question. Some may even say, well, why wouldn't you ask, do they have life insurance or do they need me? Because a lot of times when you ask somebody a direct question, they may shy away feeling as though you are trying to sell them. Clearly, we are in sales. But when you ask them, who do you know? And I love to say the cash word. People love cash. Who do you know who could benefit with cash in hand within 24 hours of proof of death? That is definitely words that are going to catch somebody's attention. All right. I never say life insurance. I do not say funeral. Okay. And again, there's my bullet points. It grabs your attention. It reminds you of a possible need. It demonstrates empathy for your situation. It's straightforward and doesn't use jargon. So I'm not saying anything like the FCGS, right? And it's short and sweet. Very short, sweet, to the point. Any questions, comments on this section? These are pretty short and straightforward, but if you have any comments, any questions about this right here, feel free to unmute and speak up. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and move over to the networking. Okay, networking is very, 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 very important for our business. Networking, okay? Different events and social platforms. Google it. Guys, I know you hear me say it every single week. Google is my best friend. It should be yours as well in so many different scenarios. Google it. Wherever you are right now, don't do it because we're training, but Google it. Google networking events near me, networking events in my area. You are going to get a ton of different events that are going on all the time right in your area. Okay. I listed a few once I pulled up networking events near me. These are the top things that popped up in my search bar. Breakfast networking. So people actually meet up for breakfast and they talk about the different businesses that they own and how they can help the community. Industry specific speaking. So you may want to put in networking events for life insurance agents so that you are going to an event that is specific to what we are doing, which is life insurance. Roundtable events, LinkedIn groups. Now, I am not big with LinkedIn. However, LinkedIn is another one of those social platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. But LinkedIn is really for business-minded people. It is more business that goes on with LinkedIn. It is definitely something that would be to all of our benefit to watch a couple of videos on YouTube about it, how to use it, how to navigate through it, because I don't know how many times individuals have sent me some really good inquiries about what I'm doing. And I have a profile and I don't manage it, right? But other people do, and they're on there all the time. That is a business platform. They have groups on there that you can plug into where you can network with individuals. Facebook, there's millions of groups on Facebook. You definitely want to make sure that as you are joining in the groups that you are reading their little laws, if you will, their bylaws stating whether or not you are able to post your information, your business card. I know I'm in a couple different groups on Facebook and they have like certain days of the week where it's like, today is the day to share what you do. Post your business card, post your elevator pitch, let us know what you do. And if anybody in the group needs you, they can reach out to you. So there's certain days and you want to make sure that you're plugged in so that you don't miss those opportunities. I've definitely received sales and recruits through Facebook. All right. You want to check your city event calendar for the different events that are going on. You can get around, a table, have a vendor table set up where you can have all of your flyers, be dressed really nice, talk to the individuals within the community, get names, get leads, referrals, the whole nine. It works. A lot of people, and again, We have a loved one on here right now who does it all the time. And right now, not so much because of the pandemic, but was always in the apartment complexes, talking to the seniors, talking to the management, getting referrals, and continuing to have, bingo parties and things like that. These are different things that may not give you that fast result, but as you continue to build yourself up in the community and people are used to seeing you, they build that trust to know that you are going to be here, you're going to gain more business. All right. Eventbrite, they have different calendar events that are posted on their site that you can link in as more of a virtual, right? And then the virtual cocktails and connections. There's the meetup.com, and they have a calendar as well. And you can actually join in, and it's free, right? Most of these are free. Something else that you can definitely research would be the Chamber of Commerce in your area, right? Again, looking at the business networks, mastermind groups, different type of charity events. When the schools start to open back up, school board meetings, talking to them about, maybe having a flyer going out to all of the students. There's so many different things that you can do. The local youth sports events, patch.com. I mean, the list is endless, y'all. If you would Google it, if you do a little bit of work, you will find that there's so many different ways that you can market yourself and your business. We should never be broke in this industry. Life insurance is huge. This is not Avon, y'all. This is not Mary Kay. And I love my Mary Kay, but it's not Mary Kay. This is a product that everybody needs, whether they have life insurance or not. They are going to die. All right. There's no way out of here but through death. And somebody's got to pay for it. Jumping over to the social media, leads and partners, meaning if you are looking to build your agency, or in fact, you are trying to gain leads. I can't eat that, babe. I can't. Ways to build, I can't. I'm training, I'm working. I'm sorry. I love you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm sorry. They went fishing and he's trying to feed me. Ways to build an agency and gain clients. Believe it or not, but people are shadow watching you all the time. Every post you post, the comments you leave on your page and other people's pages, down to the memes that you share, people are watching, whether they are liking it or not. They're watching. First step in using your social media is to clean it up. I would advise taking a night, middle of the night, go through your page, delete all the extra stuff that you do not want on your page representing you anymore, even though it may still be you. If you're going to use your social platform, you need to clean it up. Even if you create a separate business page, people are going to look for your private page. All right. They are going to look for it because people want to do business with people that are like them and that people that they can trust. And if they're going to your page, your personal page, especially when we don't have them private and they're able to see all of your pictures and all that good stuff, that, negative post or the profanity or the new pictures. And I mean, that I put, even if you look as good as Megan Good or Diana Ross, like, you really should not be doing that. If in fact you are in this type of a business, because this is a relationship type business. People are watching. Okay. Even individuals that want to work with you are watching you. I don't know how many times I have had individuals connect with me through my YouTube channel that have told me, oh, and I went to your Instagram page and I checked out your Facebook. And I'm in here like, yeah, I bet, right? Because I do the same thing. I do the same thing. When somebody is reaching out to me for an opportunity, I immediately go to their page. I Google them. I do. And it's because I need to know the type of person that is trying to connect with me, because I'm connecting them with other people. This is a relationship business. All right. Remember, you are the brand. Act like it or not. It's completely up to you. It is completely up to you. You don't want to overpost about your business. Okay. You don't want to constantly have that you're hiring. Every post is always that you're hiring, you know, that it cannot all be about business, and it doesn't have to be. People are watching the business posts. They're also watching your personal post. They want to see, again, who you are, right? They want to see as you're growing in life. Again, people have hit me up like, oh my goodness, you know, I just saw that you guys, you know, got a new vehicle, and, you know, you guys moved, and that house is nice, and you're on another vacation, and this and that. And I'm like, you didn't like not one of my pictures. And they won't. They're shadow watching until they've had enough and they want in. Okay, so just understand, people are always watching. Don't rely on the likes. Let me show you an example. Here is an example of 2 flyers that I just created that I will be using, excuse me, in the near future once I complete my lifenowagency.com web page. But clean, right? Life Now Agency, I'm using these colors. These are kind of like the colors that I have and been using for quite some time with my Christine Austin-Neal, and everything that I do Life Now is this color scheme, right? Very simple, very simple. Other examples that you can post on your social media, pictures of you and your clients, right? I have a picture of me. It's a crazy looking picture. I'm cracking up looking at it, but me and the girls, when my kids were calling me, I'm out working and they were together, you know, out of town. And it's just showing that even when I'm out working, there is a little bit of time to have some fun and talk to my girls. And yeah, it gets posted, right? Loving on my daughters while I'm in the field. My car, right, with my logo on it, that has been posted on social media. I've had people call me from my magnet as well as my Facebook post. Okay, so it's very simple. It's not trying to tell you, you need to call me all the time. I'm hiring this. It's not always the same thing. It's personal and it's business. I've posted Lincoln Heritage flyer on my social medias. This is approved. It's strictly from them. It's their digital copy with a picture of clients that I've helped, and looking how they just love me and I just be loving on them, and they're happy because we provided a service for them, right? People want to buy what other people are buying. I know that one of the things that I used to do was carry pictures of my clients in my presentation binder, especially when I got a client to say, I don't want to take a picture. And I'd flip through my pages, like my little photo album of clients. Like, are you serious right now? All of my clients take pictures with me. I'll get in with you. If you want me to get in with you, I'll get in with you. And I make it fun. And I love on them, right? So you can have fun doing that. I did just take one of the courses from another insurance agent. I'm always learning from so many people. You can always learn, even if it's one thing. And Melissa Hall, I've taken one of her little courses and, you know, supported her as she has supported me in many things. And on her page, and I should have put the copy here, but I just thought about it. She has a nice picture, which has her full name on it because she is her brand, right? So it has her name. And then it has something similar, I'm covered by the best, and it has her name on it. And she stands there with the client, or she has the client hold that poster board when she takes their picture, and she posts those things on her Instagram as well as her Facebook. That is, you are the brand, right? It's another way of putting you outside of everyone else. So just again, some examples of things that you can post. When you are looking for partners, posting the different things that we have available for new agents, letting them know, listen, when you come in, you know, the first tier, submit 10 applications, you're going to get a shirt from Lincoln Heritage. 25 apps, you're going to get a Yeti, plus, you know, you'll get your shirt. At the third tier, you submit 50 applications, you're going to get a $250 Visa card. You need to do this within your 90 days of signing your contract with Lincoln, and they are going to pay this out. That is not an incentive from your manager. That is from Lincoln Heritage. And I've seen plenty of people earn their bonuses, and you can too. And then the best month bonuses that we have within our agency, the 10,000K Club, where you receive a TMG pin and a green field shirt. 20,000 in that month, you're going to get the pin, the hat, the shirt, the coffee mug, and a license plate. All right. Nice little things that you can receive from the agency just for doing your job. I'm gonna park it real quick. Any comments, questions, concerns? Speak up, speak up, speak up. Let me know. Go on once.
No, I just want to say that's real good, Chrissy, because I definitely struggle with social media, being consistent in posting, because I think I overthink about what I'm posting. So this was really helpful.
Yeah, we all overthink, especially in the beginning. We always overthink, right? But just make sure you're posting clean, clear, fun pictures. Keep it positive. The negative stuff, put it in your journal and then burn it.
I just wanted to say, I'm not really big on social media. I mean, anyone that does follow me, you do see a lot of postings on my pages, but that's not me.
Mm-hmm.
I have someone that does it for me because I'm just that big. I post on my personal page, but not that much. Yeah. So I knew going into the business that I would be the same way. So I have hired someone who knows all the things about Lincoln, does all my stuff for me, and it works.
And it works. And see, and that's the thing, knowing she heard about it, she knew that she needed to do it, she knew she wasn't the one to do it, she hired somebody to do it because there's an app for that. There's an app to pay for somebody to take care of that. And now she has more because she is also a six-figure earner. Right?
Right.
Yes.
Right. I mean, and it's exactly what you said. People look at your stuff because I get people, they'll see me when I'm out. Girl, you be everywhere. I see the trip you went on. Oh, I saw that ring. But like you say, they ain't like nothing. So I mean, I like it because it lets me know. And my publicist told me, she was like, Trina, people watching you. They're watching. They may not hit like. Don't worry about, just like what you said. Don't worry about the likes, but they watching, and they are, because they'll get in your inbox. They'll ask you questions. Next thing you know, you talking with them and writing them, the mama, the cousin, all that.
Right.
So,
and it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to see at the end of the day, and that day may be a week later, a month later, 2 months later, 3 months later. But at the end of the hard work that you're putting in, the results are coming and they will be there. And then they will continue to come, and you'll get phone calls and you're like, okay, well, wait a minute. Where did you get my card from? Oh, I picked it up from a laundromat. You're like, oh, okay, great. And you haven't been at a laundromat in a year, right? But these are the things.
Right. Yeah. Even through the bingos that I do, people call me from a year ago. Still got my card. I never forget a lady that I talked to almost 3 years ago when I first got into the business. She called me. She said, I still got your card on my refrigerator. I ain't forgot about you. I just wrote her 2 months ago. Yeah. From 3 years. I was like, wow. And it makes you realize, wow, 3 years ago, they still remembered. Yeah. Yeah. But those things happen. You may talk to somebody. It's not right now.
Just not right now.
It will come.
Girl, I love it. I love it. And okay, I know somebody, no. I know somebody's going to ask, and before I get into the brand, I'm going to ask you, because I know somebody's going to hit me later and ask me, what do you mean she does bingo? Do you mind? Because I have a lot of new agents on the line that have not heard your story when you have been on the 3 million calls. Do you mind real quick talking about just how you even came about doing the bingos, and if it was very successful the first time you did it, and what made you keep doing it, if you don't mind?
Okay. Well, when I first came into the business, I started trying to think outside the box. I was like, who else can I reach? What large amount of people can I reach at one time? So I was like, oh my God, it's a lot of senior buildings in the area. So And I'm going to say what Chrissy just said. Google is your best friend because I Googled all the senior buildings in my area, in my county. I Googled them. Not only did I Google them, I wrote them down because I went to each and every last one of them. And the reason I did it was because I said it's a lot of people in those buildings. Mm-hmm. So I went to each and every last one of them, talked to the manager, introduced myself, and asked them if I can come in on their social days and do a presentation. They were all for it. And one guy told me after I started doing it, he said, Trina, I love what you're doing with my people here, but the best way to get more people is to come when we doing bingo. I'm like, bingo? What do you mean? And I didn't know anything about it. And he broke it down to me. And he said, you can run the bingo and you can still do your presentation. You just gonna reach a whole lot more people. So I did that from his telling me to, and it worked so well. I went back to all the buildings that I had already did just a standard presentation with and did the bingo. Now, each building has their own setup for bingo. They do it their own way. And these people love it. I mean, literally love it. And they'll tell you, you don't have to go all out in gifts. Go to the dollar store and get these dollar gifts. Get dishwashing detergent. Get towel paper, toilet tissue, toothpaste. Wow. Anything that's in there for $1, because you got to remember, a lot of these people have fixed incomes. Toward the end of the month, they run out of stuff. And those are the supplies that they truly need. Mm-hmm. So I was getting that stuff in my first bingo game. When they win, they're able to come and pick up a prize. And that tissue, towel paper, toothbrushes, toothpaste, those are the first things they grab. And I'm just looking like, wow, you just learn. And it's been a success. I mean, of course, now I can't do anything because of COVID, but once you get a relationship with apartment complex, a building, talk to the coordinator. Mm-hmm. Ask them, is it okay to do a presentation / bingo? And I'm telling you, you got friends for life. I mean, on them bad days, I would just pick a building in my area where I'm at, go in there, sit in a community room, talking loud, talking to my clients, and I'm able to write people because they remember me from being in the building, Nice. Is that what you want to hear?
That's it. Oh, girl, that was it. And then some. Yes. Yes. I so appreciate it. Anybody have any questions or comments for Katrina while she's even on here? Because I don't do those presentations or bingo. So if you got a question, you might as well ask her now or forever hold your peace.
Very creative. Thank you, though. Thank you for sharing, Katrina. That was very interesting.
Oh, you're welcome.
Very good.
That was good, Katrina. Really good.
Oh, thank you. I'm good.
This is Craig.
Hey, Craig.
Yeah, that was Craig.
What's going on?
Not much. Just here learning.
All right.
Learning and sharing. I love it.
Learning
I love it.
Sharing.
Amen. All right, guys. Well, I definitely appreciate that because, again, I do not do the apartment buildings, not just because of what's going on right now, but even before. I've done it a few times. I love doing it with other people and training on it, and I had a lot of fun with it, but I really love the LEAD program. So that was something that, I did the referral, running the business with the referrals. I did it with Warren Market. I did it with the 3-foot roll, and I got those leads, and I did it with the presentations. Let me tell you, the leads, I was making, money on them leads. And I knew that the leads cost money, but because I came from the business owner side anyway, I was good with it. And those leads, it's just for me, we all need to understand what works best for us and our personality. That is so key. And that is a blessing with this business because there's so many different ways that we can run it. There's so many different ways we can run it. You don't have to do all of the things, but it is good to know all of the things because all of the things work, right?
Right.
So
I just want to point out,
Yeah.
please do not take what I said about the apartment buildings and the bingos and think that you're going to make a killing doing just that, because it don't happen that way. Trust me. Trust me. You can have 250 people in one building, and when you have your presentation or your bingo, you may have 15 or 20 people that show up.
That's right.
But it's your job to work that room like you got everybody in there.
Yeah.
Okay? But do not think that this is the only thing you can do. No, I'm telling you, I do it all. Lead, referral, so people on the street, you have to do it all. You can't just rely on one thing.
Yes.
I just want to put that out there.
Amen.
The only thing you can do.
And that's so necessary.
Hey,
I definitely, I done muted you, Craig. I unmuted you. Go ahead. You have to unmute yourself. I apologize. Okay, there you go.
All right, you ready?
Yep, go ahead.
All right. Hey, so I heard you mention about doing presentations in schools also. I haven't done Katrina's walked me through the bingo. I have all the information to do a bingo.
Yes.
I've done presentations inside of senior high rises, but I've never done a bingo. I usually do what's called a lunch and learn.
Right.
And I do that lunch and learn in schools also, for the teachers and the staff. I'll just go to the principal and ask them if I can do a lunch and learn during their lunch periods. I'll provide pizza and drink. I have a flyer that I send out to the principal, and she'll make sure she sends it out. He or she will make sure they send it out to all the staff. And I'll just sit in the lunchroom and hand out my information and set appointments. So I have quite a few teachers and principals as clients because of the lunch and learns that
That's
I do.
good.
But
Good.
Absolutely. But like Katrina said, not going to make a killing. I may just get one or two teachers in the day. A lot of them are just coming for the free pizza and drink. But, I still hand out my information, and, at some point it's going to strike them that, hey, when I leave my job from the teachers, we don't keep our insurance, and they'll contact me.
That's right.
They'll contact me.
And it's the networking. That is part of networking. It is part of networking. Most of the time when you're networking, you are not closing a deal right away, but you are getting people familiar with you, who you are, what you provide, and you need to show up all the time. All the time. It makes me think, when you're talking about that, Craig, it makes me think of Quita when she was down, she came down to Pittsburgh and stayed with us for a while for, training with her dad, and went back to Florida, and she started sitting out with her table at Walmart. And it took a couple of weeks before people started to bite, because they needed to get used to seeing her there. They needed to understand that, oh, I'm going to be here. And she was there like clockwork on her 2 or 3 days a week. Whether people came to the table or not, she was taking the pictures, she was giving out the flyers. And I mean, all the stuff is free from Lincoln anyway. Why not utilize it, right? She was doing all of the things. And then it started popping. Then it was like, okay, this is from the table, this is from the table, this is from Walmart, this is from Walmart. And everybody else started saying, oh, we need to go to Walmart. The difference is people were doing it, and because they didn't see the fast results, they quit. And that is always the problem. You quit too soon. Guys, thank you for sharing. Absolutely. I had to write that down, lunch and learn. And I know I heard that before, you talking about that, Craig, but yeah, this time I wrote that thing down. I had to put that in my notes, All right. So jumping into You Are the Brand. Today, branding is about being open and accessible. It's about telling the stories behind great companies you're building and the products that you sell. Founders are sharing their whys publicly. Ever since Simon Sinek convinced us that people will do business with people that believe what they believe. So again, people buy from people they like and people they trust. Consumers are more picky than ever when deciding the brands they will support. And when I read this, again, I read this out of the Entrepreneur magazine from Adai. I don't even know how to say that last name, but it just made me think of how many clients throughout the past 8.5 years that I have sat with, and they told me, I'm getting this policy because I believe you and I trust you, right? And that should hit you hard, right? It should stick with you because people buy you. You are the brand. They don't know the name of the company. They don't know the product. They don't know if you're telling the truth or not. You have to be the one that is representing like no one else. You need to intertwine your mission and your products. Go beyond where other brands or people are willing to go. Are you living your truth, right? Are you living your truth? This goes back to what we've been dealing with the last 7 days with the self-discovery questions that I've been posting to our groups. Hopefully you guys have been taking the hour to yourself every day and writing those questions down and answering them, because they are there to help you to your full self-discovery, and also help you to understand that everything that you need is inside. And sometimes it takes you breaking through the barriers, the walls, the buildings, the mountains that you've created to protect yourself, because you are keeping yourself from what God has for you. It is time to break those walls down so that you can grow. Because the only way that you can receive what God truly has for you is by letting go of those walls and being willing to open up and to learn, to grow, and to change. We all have to change, all of us. You have to be the head marketer of your business. And like Katrina just said, she knew and she understood that she was not the marketer. She is not on social media. She is not the one that's going to post. However, she decided that she was going to find someone who could do it and go ahead and pay the investment to make sure that she was creating her brand, that people know who she is, and that when they go to her social platforms, they understand that she means business and she does have a life, because she's not just posting business. There's some personal things on there too, which makes it easy to scroll through her pages. All right. And again, that's Katrina Hill. You might want to go check her out on her Instagram page, because I know I see some of her things come up. What makes you different? Starting today, you have to start looking at yourself as the CEO of your life now. You are not an employee. You are the boss. Notice the spelling, right? Boss. You are the boss, y'all. You are the brand. You are. Identify the qualities or characteristics that make you different from the others. What have you done this week or lately to stand out? Do you deliver your work on time every time? Do you anticipate and solve problems before they become a crisis? Do you create and stick to your schedule? If you are going to become a brand, you have to become relentlessly focused on what you do that adds value, that you're proud of, and most important, that you can shamelessly take credit for. What do you want to be famous for? And finally, don't sell the steak, sell the sizzle. This is coming from the Entrepreneurial magazine, right? This is coming from the magazine that I quoted on the last page. Doesn't it sound the same as what I've been saying and what other managers have been saying that you guys have been listening to? Why is that? Because the truth always sounds the same. This is coming from an individual that is not in the insurance industry, but that is very successful. It's an entrepreneur, millionaire, right? And I understand that everybody does not want to become a millionaire, but we all can agree that we want to be a lot further than where we are financially, right? As to why you chose to be in the insurance industry. Because I don't know anybody who really has come into the insurance industry just because they like insurance. And if I'm wrong, feel free to speak up. Because I know I didn't dream about being an insurance agent for sure. My dream is a teacher and I'm getting to do both. But I sell a lot of policies. If you are going to become a brand, you have to become relentlessly focused on what you do that adds value, that you're proud of, and most importantly, that you can shamelessly take credit for. What do you want to be famous for? And you may not want to be famous, but in one of my videos on my channel, I did in the summer of last year, how do you want to be remembered? Because we all have to leave this earth. And you're either going to be one that is remembered by what you've done, by the people you've helped, by the lives you've shared, right? Or not. You could be just another one of those individuals that just passed on by this life that is just gone, just gone. How do you want to be remembered? Or as they put it, what do you want to be famous for? Last week, again, we talked about the self-discovery. Who took the challenge? I know Michelle did because me and her been going back and forth on this challenge. Who took the challenge and got yourself a little notebook, piece of paper, journal, or whatever you needed and wrote down the last 7 days of the self-discovery prompts? Unmute your phones, talk to me. Who did that?
I did. It's
Okay,
Trina.
you got to say your name because I don't have your face on here. Trina, you did?
Yep.
Okay, very good. If you don't mind, does any out of the 7 days, and I know today was posted a little bit late because I was out at the lake or the river. Out of those questions, which one would you say stuck with you or was like the hardest one to answer?
I think I still got it to where I haven't even answered it yet. Let me look at my because there was one I couldn't answer it.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find it right quick.
And those of you that are on the Life Now group and the Peace of Mind group, they have been posted there. And everyone else, it's on my Instagram page. I did post, I think I did up to 5 days, and I'll post the rest of them today as far as the days that we're on. And my Instagram is Christine_Austin_ill_life now, like everything else.
Let's see if I can find it.
And while you're looking for that, I
got it.
Got it? Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Number 9, when it said, when do I feel most in tune with myself?
Wow. Okay.
It took me like, I wrote it down when you put it on there in the morning. I want to say it was 10 o'clock at night before I could even come up with anything. But the question was with me all day.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that interesting?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why would that one be the hard one when we should
I don't know
with ourselves, right?
Yep. I don't know. I said, because it really I had to slow down and realize how much time I actually take for myself.
Right.
To even get to answering that question.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna read the one that what I put for that. I put, this is a good one. And I laughed because I'm journaling, right? I said, I know I say that a lot. I guess this is why I picked these questions to do on my series. They really got me thinking, and I hope they are getting your mental juices flowing as well. To answer this question, I had to get quiet with myself and really think about this. I feel most in tune with myself when I get up early, pray, listen to my motivational clips on YouTube, follow my schedule, and drink plenty of water. And at the end of the day, when I take a good 30 minutes to an hour just reflecting, this is when I am in tune with myself. That one was a good one. I think they're all good, but that one I was like, yeah. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for sharing. I'm glad that you are taking the challenge, and we have a few more days left for the end of this month. And trust me, these questions get deep. Anyone else want to share? And of course, you don't have to. The journal prompts, it's a journal. Your journal is your private, it's like your diary, if you will. So you don't have to share it. But if you want to let me know that you are and you have taken a challenge, good, because it's only for your benefit. It's only for your benefit. You know what, for me, one of the other things that was challenging, writing down your top 10 goals to complete by the end of the year. And although I'm one that is big on goals and setting the goals, I had so many set for the first 6 months of this year with my 2020 perfect vision, my workbook, and going through my credit cards and financial, all of my stuff, that I hit all the goals, right, at the beginning of this month like I was supposed to. And now I'm out here looking for a new vehicle and don't even, it's like almost not even wanting one, which is crazy. But it's just amazing of all of the different things that I was able to do because of what I was focused on. I stayed focused on it. My morning routine, you know, getting up, thanking God for waking up. If my husband was up, loving on him real quick, reading on the word. And then I was looking at my credit score. I was looking at my bank accounts. I was looking at my business numbers, period. Because that's what I was focused on. The finances, credit score, paying things off to get to where I am today. So for the next to the month, I was like, oh, snap. Okay, now what? Now what, right? So we've had some shifts, which were some good shifts. And so now it's like, okay, now I need to write these goals down for the next 5.5 months, which is awesome. But that was one of the other things that for me going through had me stumped because I was so focused on the first 6 months of this year. I didn't think about the last half. And so that's where we are now. All right, anyone else? As we're winding down, we have about 10 minutes left. Okay.
Hey, Christy, it's Chris.
Hey, Chris.
And I'm sorry if you hear my kids in the background. They're just fighting to the death. It's no big deal.
We can't hear them.
I think one of, oh, you will.
We can't hear them. They're good. Now I can't hear you, though.
One of the few specific. Yeah. Oh, hold on. Can you hear me now?
Okay, I can hear you now. Go ahead.
Okay. I said one of the things I think I learned from last time I was here was you have to be so specific with stuff. Like if you had asked me my goals before, I'd be like, oh, I want to buy a house. Okay, well, how many bedrooms? What's the house look like? Is it a fenced in backyard? Do you have a garage? Do you have a 2-car garage? You know, do you have a his and her sink in the bathroom? You know, like, and I can say that stuff now, where before it was like, oh, I want to buy a house. And it was so vague that there was really nothing to shoot for because you, at least for me, I didn't really see it. It was an idea, not a tangible thing that I was shooting for.
Yeah.
Or I want to buy a car. Okay, well, what kind of car is it? Are your windows tinted? You know, what kind of seats? You know, like, and so I think that's a lot of what I've learned. You're talking about goals is, well, I want to save money by the end of the year. Okay, how much money? How much are you saving each week? How much are you saving each month? What are you doing to get the money that you're going to save? So that's my focus coming in now, is being a lot more detailed with my goals so that I can organize and see if I'm hitting them and see what adjustments I have to make. Because if you can't even measure if you're on pace, then there's no adjustments you're making.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
That's all I have.
Hey, and thanks for your ad. And I think he was in my notes, because guess what? Next week, training topics, goals. Our last 5 months of the year, our next year, and our 5-year, because some of us couldn't see past 2-3 years, right? So we are going to go over our goals. So you see this now, so you can be prepared for next week. We are going to be talking about goals, and I definitely want to hear everyone's goals. Accountability is huge. Tracking, MapView, Sales Navigator. So those that don't have an iPad, they may use Sales Navigator to track their leads, their route, if you will. Customer service, and using a system like Send Out Cards. I have a couple other apps. I didn't post all of them here, but we will discuss a few different things that you can use to help ease the pain, if you will, of getting in front of your clients without getting in front of them. So next week will be a little bit of, personal training, if you will, like your goals, getting referrals and things like that. And then we're going to get techie. So I will have a video, of course, for the map view. So we'll watch that together, kind of like a little show, if you will, and the Sales Navigator to show you how that works. And then we will talk about the Send Out Cards. Will also be on a short video that I will share with you guys and answer any questions that you have. And then we'll get into referrals, because the following week we're going to have a contest for we're gonna have a contest. That's all I'm gonna say. Cause Craig be kicking people's butt out here, and I don't know. I'm not trying to let him know anything ahead of time, but it's gonna deal with referrals, because I think we all have kind of fell back on referrals. We love leads. I mean, I know me and Craig talk about it all the time. We have no problem spending money on our business. We love the lead program. But I do know that we are not helping all of the clients that we can help, meaning their family members. I had another client just call me this past week. I had 4 or 5 death claims, and 3 of them didn't use the family support service, and that bothered me. And they didn't use it because they didn't know about it, which meant customer service, I dropped the ball. And so we are going to learn about that together. I'm going to pick that ball up, and moving forward, it's easier for you guys as new agents to learn as you're going. And then for the older agents, of course, going back and picking up a ball that we may have dropped is more of a pride thing, but it is necessary. And so I'm willing to do the work. So we're going to be talking about that next week. And that's it, guys.